What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome to my tier list for Avengers. Now, I already did this on stream, alright, but the stream fucked. So I was like, I'll do a video on it instead. Give it a bit more attention and all that. Now, I know I said I was going to begin doing the Spider-Man videos, and that is going to happen, I promise you all. However, at this very moment in time, this tier list, I gotta do it. So, it's not anymore as I'm recording this, but yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of the game. So I thought, let's do a tier list of all the characters. Now, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I know whatever I say here won't make literally a lick of fucking difference. So I should really just stop talking. Anyway, let's get on to the tier list. So first we've got Black Widow. Now with Black Widow, it's a bit weird, alright? Because Black Widow for me is decent at melee, but heroics are just a bit meh. Like, they're a bit meh, you know what I mean? Like, and her ranged is pretty sort of... To me, the pistols are useless. They're only good to proc the ranged power attack damage buff thing. That's it, right? The high caliber's good for damage, and the thing is good for, like, stunning and status. So I mean, for that she's pretty alright, you know what I mean? So I don't think I would put her too highly though, because simply for the fact of, like, from what I've seen online, the builds kind of vary between takedown and high caliber, and that's kind of all you're gonna really get with her. So I'm thinking to myself, you know, is that enough versatility to put her in the A slot? Do you know what I mean? But I think because, you know, she's got a lot more versatility than a lot of the other heroes on this list when it comes to the meta builds, I think I'm gonna put her on A. Alright, so Black Widow goes to A. Now, for people on my Twitter that are like, what the fuck, you didn't put her on A on your tier list, it's because I was trolling. So if you all want to see, like, the drama commence, right, on my Twitter, go over there. Right, you'll love it. Alright, so next we've got Black Panther, so the newest hero added to the game. Now for me, Black Panther is a weird one, because his combat is quite fun, but his pounce is the meta, right? And for melee. And heroes can't attack the enemies while you've got pounce. So if a teammate of yours has pounce, you might as well just not play with them. Right? His ranged is alright, but it's literally just and that's kind of boring. Like, it's boring to look at. And his heroics are pretty dull as well. So, like, his assault spear is a bit meh. Bast is cool, but Bast doesn't actually sort of do a lot. Kind of just, they're all just sort of upgrades to BP, but the support is okay. But besides that, yeah, probably a C, I think, with Black Panther. And that's not, and the thing is, Black Panther is fun, but, like, probably not to the point of, like, you know, better than Widow, I think. I think that's fair. Like, Black Panther's kind of like a weird character where, like, he's got so much, but none of it is really, like, useful. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, I'm matching these characters up to the enemy design and combat of the game. Otherwise, it's like, do you know what I mean? So next we've got Kamala. Now, here's the thing. When I did the tier list on Twitch, I said that with Kamala's Embiggen, it's the worst ultimate in the game. And troll or not, I stand by that now. Because when you get the ultimate, it makes you move slower. It makes you a bigger hitbox. And if a really aggressive gale wind touches Kamala, she staggers like an absolute fish. Right? She just flops. And to me, it's like, why should I put an ultimate on if it's only going to make me worse? Like, that doesn't make sense to me, right? And it's like, the ultimate to me matters quite a lot, because obviously that's supposed to be your big power. And besides that, to me, Kamala's ranged is limited. You know, but she's a great support hero. She's absolutely amazing support hero. But versatility wise, if she's not very good at everything else, does she deserve to be high up on the list? In my opinion, no. So Kamala is gonna go a D. All right, we're gonna put Kamala as a D. We're gonna put her. We're gonna shrink her up a little bit. Hang on a minute. We're gonna shrink her up a little bit. There you go. Hold on. There you go. All right, Kamala goes with D. So next we've got the Hulk. Now, I I put Hulk as an A on my original tier list, and the reason why is because the build that I've got at the minute, the Vibranium Fever build that you can check on the channel right now, wink wink, it's really fun. It's really fun to use. And I based it off of that. Now, Hulk is also quite a limited character in the combat side of it, but my god, does he wreck. Like, he's so fun. And for me, like, he's the closest to being like the Hulk when you level him up, regardless of the build. But if this was a tier list of level 0, power level 0, right, Hulk would be way at the fucking bottom. I am fully aware of that, right? But for someone like myself who's in the end game, being like, you know, now I would put him really high up for fun factor alone. That's me personally. So I think that, like, for pure fun, I would put him as a B. For, like, hero, his entire moveset, he'd probably be a D. He probably would, right? But he doesn't have the Kamala problem of being staggered by a strong wind. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put him as a C, right? We'll put him as a C. Just because he lacks versatility. But for me, leveled up properly, he is really fucking fun. Like, really fun. There you go. Alright. Next, we've got Mr. Clint Barton. We've got Hawkeye. Now, Mr. Hawkeye. Let's talk about Mr. Clint Barton. So with Clint, he's a one-trick pony in the community. Split shots for days. That's it. Status effect, split shot. It's impressive. High damage. Mentally OP. Sonic Photo one-man the Super Adaptoid with this character doing that build. But for me, I keep talking about versatility, and the reason why is because versatility is fucking fun. Alright, if I can do like multiple different builds and they're all sort of efficient, then that's a good thing. With Clint, I'm trying to work on a melee build, struggling. Struggling. Alright, so like for that alone, D, right? But personally, for the damage that he does with Split Shot and being one of the best characters in the game, damage-wise, man, he's got to be higher. He's got to be like, he'll probably be S tier. So, but we've got to think about it like fun and also, you know, being a good character. So I think he's going to go in A, and hopefully that makes my conscience feel alright. I feel like he shouldn't be in A either. But, like, at the same time, that's kind of all I can think for Clint. So, we'll stuff him there. I'm going to have to decapitate you, Clint, mate. Oh, no, I won't. There you go. Okay. Alright, so, next is Kate Bishop. Kate, similar to her mentor, a bit of a one-trick pony. So, here's the thing. Yes, she can do more than scatter shot. But you got to think, right? You got to think that, is that as good as a melee? No, because of the enemy design and everything else. Is it as good as Razor? I know Suki is okay, will tell you a million different things, but it is not. It's not. It's just not. The most viable build for Kate is Scatter Shot. And just going, is sort of boring, right? You can do high damage with it, but for me personally, the fact that her most best build is just on repeat, it's like, fuck, you know, dang, you know, do something else, you know what I mean? And for that reason, like, Kate's low on this list, like, for me, like, she's probably an E, right? And I'm gonna put her in E right now, but just for the simple fact of, like, yes, alright, level 0 Kate, so as in where everything works, her melee works, her every single arrow is good damage-wise, like, she fucking slaps. All these heroes slap right at the very start because you can use all of their moves at the exact same damage potential, right? And the enemies aren't completely beastie. Yes, they would all be S tier, but when you level them up, and for the builds that I have, and the best builds in the community and stuff like that, for me personally, Kate just ain't up there with the best. At least for fun factor as well, right? So next we've got Thor. Thor's S tier. Thor's S tier. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Let's just get it out of the way right now. Thor's S tier. Like, fucking, come on. Why? Don't even ask why. Do you know how many builds you could do with this command? You got range, you got heroics, you got fucking, your status, you got melee. Like, this man can do it all, and he can kill anything in his path. Like, me and Hyrule have had a joke with each other from the Assemble podcast. Now, if you go in Omega level threats and you've got a Thor or a Hawkeye, you'd be absolutely fine. So versatility, he's got it. Power and like damage, he's got it. Just fun factor, he's got it. It's just he's Thor's perfect in this game. It's perfect. And what's weird is that I don't even think I play Thor more than any other character. So that's a bit, that's kind of clapped. Anyway, we've got Iron Man. So here's the thing with Iron Man, similar to Kate in a sense, that like he's a sort of like, for me, he's a bit of a one-trick pony in the community. Like for me, he's got lasers and missiles because his repulsors are a bit shit. His melee is God, so limited. Such a limited like melee moveset, right? And then Hulkbuster's kind of irrelevant. His uni beam is a bit like, it does something, and his support is his support's good. But that works towards his missiles and his lasers and that, right? So again, I would say I'd probably put Iron Man in D quite comfortably, to be honest. Again, strong as fuck with the meta builds, but if you try and exit that realm, you're gonna have a difficult time. You're gonna have a tricky time. So now we're on to Captain America, the first Avenger, but the last on the list, right? He's interesting. So his range is really satisfying. Melee wise, though, it's not very versatile. There's not a lot you can do with Cap in regards to melee. He's a very like Brooklyn Brawler, takedowns. If it's not that, you are fucked. You're dead. Give up. You know what I mean? And that's like, again, that's a problem. He's fun with those builds, so he's definitely not like E. For me personally, though, like I would probably put him. I'd probably put him in C. So he's not very like dynamic, but the stuff he's got is really fun for me personally. So I think I'm gonna have to go with that. Whereas like the others, are pretty much on the same level of versatility as in the people at the bottom, but they're not as fun to use it with, I guess. I don't think is a perfect way to explain it. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my actual tier list for the characters in Marvel's Avengers. So if you want I'm gonna get beat up for this video no matter what, right? So I might as well do it, So like this is I'm gonna die. I'm going to die. I'm dead. I'm probably going to die. All right. I'm gonna try and stream tomorrow. I'm going to try and get past some of the issues that I've been facing. I think I'm doing all right, though. I think everything's going to be all right. But I will keep you all updated on that. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, by the way. We are like 90 left, which is fucking nuts. So please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in a bit. Bye.